with OTC. Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Good morning, good evening, good day. How are you? Good day, Talmasi friends. How is everybody doing tonight? Well, today, this morning, whatever time it may be, wherever you may be. I'm waiting for Jeff to arrive. He's running a little bit behind tonight, so just wanted to kind of talk a little bit of what we're going to go into tonight. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about, as always. Tonight, we're going to get into, or I should say on this video, let's get into a couple things. First of all, there's actually something kind of mysterious, but there appears to be a possible new platform for NFTs around the Flare network. We're going to take a look at that. We're also going to take a look at this amazing article that was written in Forbes magazine, which doesn't happen too often because Forbes has not always been that kind to the XRP community or the crypto community in general, unless it's, of course, Bitcoin, the king. And then we'll jump into some other stories and we'll get your feedback. We'll mini workshop some stuff and, you know, a little bit of this and that. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
And here we are. So we got a bunch of people. Hey, let's see, Lionel's over there watching over there on Twitter. If you guys can always join us here too. There's some weird thing where the Facebook comments are not coming through for some reason. I have a buddy who watches it on Facebook. He's like, hey man, you always ignore my comments. I'm like, I don't see your comments. I said, why don't you you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, just go over there. And we also have a podcast. And if it's your first time here, click that subscribe button. Click that little notifier bell. A lot of people just click subscribe and they're like, geez, that's weird. I never hear from them. But if you don't click that little silly bell, then you don't get like that little pop-up on your phone or on your screen and all those kind of good things. Yeah, drop where you're from. Hey, John Doe, what's up? Appreciate it. Mel G. Lionel's in here. Michael O2. We have Live, Love, Love, Live, Heal. That's Lady E. Of course, we know her in Crawfish XRP. So Ontario, Canada. By the way, I grew up in right outside Niagara Falls in New York. So I spent a lot of time in Ontario. Maybe you detect my accent. Maybe not. I'm in Ontario. You probably might know that sort of region. Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. I've spent a lot of time in Toronto too. Right across the lake, man. Bam. But you got to drive around the lake. It's a lot shorter drive if they could just go ahead and drive straight there. I want to jump into some stuff here. We got so much on the roster for tonight, so let's get right to it. Wanted to talk about this. So Stuart Adirati, who is the general counsel for Ripple, and he put this tweet out not too long ago, 3 hours ago or so. He said, not only is the future of the U.S. crypto industry at stake, but the arrogance of unrestrained regulators making policy through enforcement is on trial as well. A must read by Rosalind Layton. I have to say, I really enjoyed reading this article. What's going on, Australia? Matt Morrow, how you doing, man? I enjoyed reading this so much because, a lot of times we go into Forbes magazine, and let's not kid ourselves, okay? They're not so friendly. They're like, it's filled with mistruths and half-truths and, FUD and, crypto's going to crash. I mean, a lot of times, but Rosalind Layton, PhD, very smart. She puts together this beautiful argument, and it says the SEC stumbles in the Ripple case, lost in a maze of its own making. That headline alone right there, lost in a maze of its own making. My God, I mean, we can just fixate that on. It's so well crafted. The SEC stumbles. Jeff's always talking about walking around with their shoes untied. Lost in a maze. Now, you got to look at the picture here because, gosh, is this fantastic right here. There it is. Now, if you can't see this and you're on the podcast, it's basically a guy and a bunch of people walking in some direction in this endless maze that looks to be maybe 100 feet high, and he's walking across the top carrying what looks like a briefcase. And this is pretty much what the SEC's sort of done to itself. And so you look at this thing, and I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it through here, and I'll summarize a little bit of it because it's a pretty decent article, but it talks about. It also mentions John Deaton too, and it brings up a really good point in there. It says the complaint alleged against Ripple about the sales of XRP from 2013 to present were illegal, unregistered security offerings rather than distribution of a digital token. And talks about Jay Clayton, the fact that he dumped everything on a new administration, like, hey, see you later, I'm out, and then boom. Kick the can down the road, as they say, right? You kick it down the road and you have to deal with that. And then, Gary Gensler has to come in and really kind of pick up the pieces here. So it even says right here, Chairman Gary Gensler is going to have to sort it out. So, I mean, imagine this. This is basically the suit of the century. She actually calls it in here. I think she coined that back in December. She said the SEC probably did not expect the storm that Clayton's final act has kicked up, and it's exposed an inherent weakness in the decision to sue. It began on January 1st when a group of XRP holders led by Rhode Island attorney John E. Deaton struck back at the agency, and did he ever? And they were not planning on this at all. Deaton, a personal injury attorney with class action experience, filed a petition in the U.S. District Court in his home state to enforce the SEC to exclude his XRP holdings from being defined as a security. He says he didn't buy XRP as an investment contract. Did you? Did any of us buy it as an investment contract? And never considered it to be a security. The SEC's actions against Ripple unfairly harmed him when it sent its value plunging. If you guys remember, it was in the 68 cent range, somewhere around there. Sent it plunging, and it forced crypto exchanges to start delisting the token. After filing the action, Deaton says he was inundated with requests from thousands of XRP holders wanting to join his case. And if you remember, right after that, we had John Deaton on the chain. He came on here, I think it might have been the first week of January, and I think we had him back 2 weeks later. And as I was deeming him John E. Deaton superhero, because he actually took action. He spent his holidays, crafting this whole entire, complaint. And he one of the things that I really appreciate about what he did was he said that he leveraged a lot of the community. He started talking about all the YouTubers like Crypto Eddie and a lot of other people that he said he pulled pieces from here and there and kind of put it all together in this culmination of sticking up for the XRP XRP community. One of the things that I think he has absolutely just phenomenal. So he got just bombarded. So last Friday, the SEC went to Deaton and in Rhode Island. For those watching the Ripple case in New York, it carried an astonishing argument. The SEC asked to dismiss Deaton's petition because, check this out, no determination has been made on whether XRP is a security. Put two and two together. The SEC is basically saying that Ripple and its two top execs had to have had reasonable knowledge of something 7 years ago when the agency itself wasn't really sure about last Friday. Say what? Well, last Friday they didn't know anything about it, but all of a sudden 7 years ago, you know, actually one executive, it wasn't 7 years ago for Brad Garlinghouse, but 7 years ago. Then one wonders which part of the 19th. Hang on a second. Jeff is joining us from an undisclosed location. What's up, Jeff?
What is up? What's going on?
He's driving.
I am driving.
Drive it along. Go ahead and.
I set this up to jump in on the stream.
Nice, man. We always know we like horizontal video, Jeff, for the viewers. Just saying. You know, we don't want any of those vertical video soccer mom styles, but that's okay. We're gonna.
Let's see how that works.
Now you're driving to the moon. I like that better. You're driving straight up.
Let me go there.
Let me just mute. Let me mute you for a second here. You're kind of cutting out, but hang on a second. Let me just mute you for a second here until you'll pop back in. So last Friday, the SEC didn't know whether or not it was a security, but they expected the people at Ripple to know 7 years ago, right? I think we're losing Jeff. There he goes.
There we go. I'm back.
All right, and he says Thank you. One wonders which part of the 1933 Security Act the SEC will. All right, buddy. Well, listen, I'm going to just put you on mute for a second here. Let me just put him on mute here so I can get through this. Otherwise, I'll lose my space, and there's always a squirrel, and I'll be like, squirrel, and I won't know what I'm doing. One wonders which part of the 1933 Securities Act the SEC will eventually use to argue that Ripple is obliged to have psychic powers. Let's see. Is it a security? Don't know, right? And this is what I love about it. She writes a fantastic article here, right? So she says, co-defendants Garlinghouse and Larson, top executives, sent letters to the New York judge on March 3rd, anticipating their own motions to dismiss the lawsuit with arguments around fair notice and due process. 2 days later, SEC drops a response to Deaton, only made the arguments even more obvious. Are the SEC attorneys failing to show for Zoom meetings? I think they're failing to show up for life in general, right? Failed to show for Zoom meetings. Are they coordinating stuff together? No wonder Ripple filed the Freedom of Information Act for internal SEC docs communications that could show that while 7 years worth of high-profile developments were going on related to XRP, the agency's actions unclear and confusing, kind of like the contradictory filings they just made 2 days apart in New York and Rhode Island. And I love this because she's totally calling them out on this whole thing, right? March 8th, which incidentally was my brother's birthday, my little bro's birthday, on March 8th, the SEC, they seemed to panic. Oh no. Fired off a letter to the New York judge demanding that she strike the fair notice defense from the Ripple case altogether, calling it improper and spurious, and seeking an immediate hearing to decide on. Now, I saw that and I said, the SEC is not feeling too good about this. They're trying to strike a key portion of Ripple's defense down. What are they worried about? If the judge disagrees, one can only wonder what's lurking in the internal SEC communications that Ripple might find from the FOIA request, right? So Ripple has a chance to go ahead to do a FOIA request. And so what are they going to discover? Because they wanted to know back then, you had what internal work went into the 2018 announcement. Back then you had the director of corporation finance, that was William Hinman, that ETH or ETH was not a security given its similarities to XRP. Her words, not mine, but in a weird sense, it is sort of a similar type of a thing. She says, which crypto exchanges ask for clear guidance, right? So on the discovery portion of it, Ripple wants to know exactly how did the SEC arrive at this? And what kind of communications were they having? So I love the fact that they're doing this, and the SEC in a sheer panic move starts, screaming like a little baby and saying, oh, judge, we got to strike it down. So They want to know which crypto exchanges were asked for clear guidance on the SEC. We're fairly certain that one of them was Coinbase. They listed the token. How many opportunities was the SEC given since 2013 to give Ripple and XRP holders fair notice about XRP status? And what went into every decision to let those opportunities pass? I called this case the cryptocurrency trial of the century in December, and I'm being vindicated with each development. Not only is the future of the U.S. crypto industry at stake, but the arrogance, the unrestrained regulator making policy through enforcement is on trial as well. And that's something that Stuart Adderati rightly pointed out. Another thing she says the making of what appears to be a class action lawsuit against the SEC on this issue confirms the backlash. And the other thing that does, by John Deaton filing the writ, and then now he's putting together a class action suit, and everyone's coming in from everywhere to be able to say, yeah, we were hurt as investors because, we watched our value get eroded, billions and billions of dollars. And the primary whole reason for the SEC is to do this. So she talks about the most heartening development is the new bipartisan legislation by Patrick Mahenry, senior Republican on the House Financial Committee, to establish a working group. But even better than that, we talked about the reintroduction of the Token Taxonomy Act, which is even better than that. She didn't get into that. I actually think that's better. Sitting around talking about stuff is not as key as actually putting regulation in. There's one thing I thought she could have made in here, but she sort of missed. But I mean, overall, I think it was a pretty solid, straight on article there. Jeff, are you able to talk or comment on this at all? Let me see. Go ahead, Jeff. I had you muted for a second.
There we go. You unmuted me. Awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, she wrote a good article. She did miss the whole thing about the token taxonomy, but I'm not sure. She could have written it right before that came out, because sometimes they don't actually publish it until. So
yeah, she might have missed that point. And I think that's a big point to miss out on the article. But like you said, I mean, might not. She might not have read, wrote the article yesterday.
Right. Because the McHenry thing came out, and then it was like shortly after that.
Correct. Yeah. So I think there's some big, definitely big news. There's a lot of things happening. It's interesting. I was just in a meeting tonight, and we were talking about bills that are being presented in front of Congress right now. And one of the things that most people don't realize is that these bills go to committee, and then they die in committee. And unfortunately, that's what happened to the Token Taxonomy Act multiple times.
By the way,
so
Apex.
We can only hope that doesn't happen again. That's the reality.
Apex Crypto says Jeff fleeing the country with his crypto bags. Is that true, Jeff? Are you fleeing the country?
I'm fleeing the country. The country. Hang on a second. I got to. I'm on my way into the studio.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you to rejoin, and then put you on mute here for a second. Okay, then I'll remove you, and then you can pop back in. How's that? There we go. All right. So yeah, so Jeff is making his way back to the studio as it is. Jeff and his Batmobile. There you go. This is exciting. So what I really like about this, what is Lionel saying? SEC is overreaching on their overreach. Yeah, they overreached on that little bit of an overreach. They kind of overreached on top of the overreach. They oversteered the vehicle, flipped it over 17 times, righted it, and then flipped it over another 15 times. But yeah, I think what's happening here is, with this backlash, and I love what John Deaton's doing, because John Deaton is setting it up. The judge is going to get wind of this. Not like the judge isn't going to know what's going down, right? That there's another suit pending. It doesn't know, not as if there's going to be like, oh, I wonder if there's any backlash from the community. No, Deaton's suit's going to be filed, and there's going to be a class action, and basically saying that the SEC failed its basic mission of protecting investors. So I think that's going to be a big fail too. And you guys probably heard about this story here. I'll mention it. We wanted to actually do this one the other day, but you guys know all these, like when you start watching a video on YouTube and there's like some scam video playing. So Ripple finally basically settled that whole legal dispute with YouTube over XRP scams. They would have Garlinghouse, and then it would like free XRP, and then it would be like 4,000 people were watching it, and they were giving away all kinds of money, or XRP. And So Garlinghouse said, last year, I sued YouTube for failing to enforce its own policies by allowing fake accounts impersonating my Ripple verified accounts to conduct XRP scams, right? So basically what they decided to do here, and I'm not sure if it says in here, but they came to some sort of an understanding, which is they're going to create some sort of a, here it is right here. But they're confidential, but I think what actually came out was they were going to go ahead and fund something. YouTube was going to go ahead and fund some sort of third party that would be able to do some sort of enforcement. So it wasn't them doing the enforcement. That's sort of what I got a little bit of wind about on that one. And I kind of teased this one a little. My grandma, what does my grandma say? My grandma still believes in the SEC. There's hardly anybody that believes in any three-letter agencies anymore, right? I'm not going to get them all, but you guys know the three-letter agencies, right? One begins with an F, one begins with an S, one begins with a C, right? All the three-letter agencies. They're all grossly out of hand, right? Let's see what he's saying. Oh, here we go. Yeah, remember the 60-minute timer starts over once Jeff re-enters the streams, right? Them's the rules. I don't know if we make those rules, man. We got to be on a schedule here. So I want to talk a little bit about this. Sparkles. I saw this tweet. I'm like, Sparkles? What in the hell is this? Sparkles NFT. Our page will aim to promote NFTs that are minted on where? On Ethereum? Oh no. Flare Networks. Once it launches in Q2 of 2021. Follow us so you don't miss what's coming. And so I wanted to see a little bit about that. I thought maybe they had a website up. No website. But they're building a platform for NFTs built on the Flare Networks. What does that mean? I think we're going to see a lot of more people coming and minting NFTs right on Flare. So this is more exciting news. I don't know who this is. The account popped up 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I should say, on the 8th, but it says it'll launch. It's coming soon. And yeah, that's basically it. That's what it says. It's coming soon. We don't know exactly when it's coming, but I think what this is going to do for the ecosystem is going to be fantastic, because the biggest problem with Ethereum right now is you get a lot of congestion, and these fees, man, these fees are going through the roof. It's getting to be a little bit excessive, and I don't think we can really. So here, let's go. So you guys probably already heard about Beeple. He had he had 2 words to say today. Maybe I'll put it on the screen, but it's not something I want to reiterate, and I'm not sure if I want you guys saying it in the chat there, but I do want to get to it, because I guess I might have the similar reaction. If you guys had an NFT that sold for $69 million, how would you react? What would you say? Would you have a reaction? I mean, would you say, yay, that's awesome? I mean, you might have a reaction on that whole thing, but here was his reaction. Right there. Boom. That was his reaction when he saw the sale. There you go, Jeff. You ready, Jeff? Or maybe I'll put you in too soon? Batter, 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 swing, batter, batter, batter. Oh, he's putting his stuff together. But that was his reaction. And that might be apropos. I'm calling Jeff with the apropos. Might just be. He's like, yeah, man. Apropos. I can't even say it, Jeff. It's your word.
Very apropos.
Apropos. Yeah. So you see how Beeple reacted to his 169 million sale?
Man, holy.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
What was that? What was that sale?
That was for his $169 million. The first 5,000 days, I think it was sold for 169. I want to say, guys, help me out in the chat. I don't have it sitting right in front of me. I just had that little piece pulled up. Christie's auction. Let's see. I don't know. Is there something on that?
What are we talking about? What sold for 169 million?
I can't hear you. Your mic's not working. Beeple had a amazing sale. Let's see. Beeple.
Microphone check.
There you go. Boom. You're in.
Man, what is this?
I'm sorry. 69.3 million. 69.3 million, becoming the most expensive NFT ever sold. Here's a little bit of a story on it right there. Boom. 69. And that was how and this is it. What he did was, for 500 days, he did a drawing every day because he wanted to hone his skills. Nice. He compiled it into this, whatever that is, that masterpiece. And there we go. So yeah,
Hey,
digital
cheers.
art. What are you drinking? Some beer there?
Mm,
Cerveza?
that's a Glen Moringa 18 right there.
Oh, look at
Glen
you, man.
Morangi. It's a
Look
good
at
stuff.
you, Jeff. Starting the weekend early. I like that.
Man, they had no Jameson where I was. So
That's okay. I could do without
I
Jameson.
ordered a Jameson and they brought the glass and there was like this little bit and they said, sorry, we're out of Jameson. So you can have this. I'm like,
I
oh,
drink
okay.
Jameson if there's nothing available. They go, there's Jameson. I'm like, well, it's better than
Jameson's
drinking
like,
my.
it's the best go-to. I mean, it's
I think
good.
I-
It's it's nice.
I rationalize it like this. It's better than drinking my own vomit. So I'll go ahead. I'll queue one up. I'll have one. I like Jameson and ginger, the real proper Irish way to drink it. Because it's so fantastic drinking Jameson and ginger. Like the real ginger, not that garbage we have here, but triple digit spark one day. Potentially.
Nice. Triple digits.
Triple digit spark. 0.00000.
Jose will pour a drink.
Jose,
Nice.
can you see? Yeah, Jose, I want to do it. Go ahead. Cue it up, man. So I was
Yeah.
talking about this new platform that I'm pretty excited about, Sparkles. Jeff, Sparkles NFT, right over there.
Super excited about the sparkles.
Well, because they're going to be doing NFTs on Flare Network. I'm like, dude, this is going to bring a lot of people over. You just don't want to start paying the fees. The Dubliner's pretty good. Yeah, the Dubliner's good.
The
Dubliner's always
Dubliner.
good.
Man, you know what? If you go through the Irish whiskeys, you've got the green spot, yellow spot. I like green spot. Jameson is pretty good, and then you have to get into I don't know. I tried what is that one? The
Jameson and Guinness is also good, says Lisa Flanagan. That's also a good look.
Jameson and Guinness go
Had that.
very well together.
Yep.
Yes.
In a
And
Dublin
you know what?
pub.
It's almost St. Patrick's Day, so that's coming up next week,
It's the 17th.
Wednesday. Yep,
Yeah, there
coming
you
up
go.
on Wednesday, and that's going to be a nice day.
I have to wear some-
We missed St. Patrick's Day last year.
And last night, yeah, it was the whole COVID thing. I was like, the one day you want to go out, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, everything's shut down. What? That's the one time everyone has a chance to go out there. It's always during the week too. It's like really ever rarely on the weekend, right?
That's right.
And you go out and you have a little bit of a fun and you get a little bit of enjoyment out there.
Timmy's like, what about the XRP news, Chip?
Well, what about the XRP news? We have some XRP news here.
Let's go into the news.
I'm trying to find anything on XRP. No.
Nothing today.
No. Well, there was this that I thought was pretty interesting. There was 136 million XRP wired by Chris Larson to several crypto exchanges.
That was awesome.
So, yeah, that was something that happened.
Did you talk about the good news that has to do with YouTube, or did you miss that one?
No, I talked about that, but that was like old news.
The YouTube scam already.
Yeah, that took place 3 days ago. It's just we got around to reporting on it today.
Yeah,
I had that.
Everything.
I had that in the keep the other day. This particular article, didn't talk about the fact they were setting up a foundation that was going to focus in on. They're going to fund it. That was going to focus in on cleaning it up. You know what's going to happen? Nothing.
Not much. Did you
Not
talk
much.
about Schiff
No.
Jr. going all in on Bitcoin?
No.
All in. Man, Schiff. Everybody knows Schiff, the gold guy.
Yeah, but that's his son.
The gold maxi. So Schiff Jr. has now gone all in on the Bitcoin.
Is that a good thing? But I mean, does anybody know who Schiff Jr. is?
No, but I thought Schiff was pretty much anti everything unless it was gold. And then his son decided to put everything 100% into Bitcoin.
Wow.
Per this
Spencer.
article.
I never even knew he had a
Schiff's son moves 100% of his portfolio into Bitcoin. How do you think his father feels? In response, Schiff said, I need to disinherit him. There you go.
No gold for you, son. Let me know how the Bitcoin works out.
0.
If my own son is brainwashed, imagine how vulnerable most kids are. He's hodling to infinity or bust. Yeah, well, you know what? At least he's free to make his own decisions. But when he says he's going all in on his portfolio, we don't know what his portfolio is. They don't talk about how big his portfolio is. Is it one Bitcoin? He's going all in on one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin.
Could be a fraction. Could be a tenth of a Bitcoin. Could
Yeah,
be
we
a
don't know how
millionth
big
of a
it is.
Bitcoin. Hick.
So yeah, so it said the crypto community welcomed the announcement. Many people expressed confidence that the 100% Bitcoin investment will make Schiff's son Spencer richer than him. At least someone in your family is growing their wealth this year. Morgan Creek Digital co-founder Anthony Pomp, my boy Pomp said, subsequently wrote Pompliano. Yeah, so Pomp was getting his little digs in there. Getting a few little diggies in
Oscar
there.
Morrison here says, I'm 100% certain that Peter Schiff knows exactly what he's doing. And the whole Bitcoin villain is just a play to be constantly advertising his own business, having everyone talk about him. Exactly. And so here he is. How much Bitcoin do you think Peter Schiff actually owns?
A crap
Is he ever
ton
going
of
to
it.
disclose it? I don't know.
No. He's, but the thing is every time you engage, that's a really good observation. You engage and all of a sudden you get a lot of publicity. And it's like, oh, geez, where should I buy gold from? Oh, that gold guy. He's known as the gold guy,
I'm excited about it.
And he's a believer in gold, but it's the same thing as JP Morgan. They're like, oh man, it's funny because my wife and I were talking the other day. She's like, well, no, JP Morgan said this. I go, that was last week. What did they say this week? It's like, last week they said it was good. Then they say it's bad. Then it's good. Then it's bad. Then it might be good, but we're not sure. But it could crash, and then it could. I'm like, okay, well, 10 years of outperforming the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, you have, it's volatile, yes, but it's outperformed it like crazy numbers. So when you look at it from that standpoint, you got to say, yeah, it's done its job, right? I mean, it's definitely gone out there and done its job.
That's it.
Man, how many whiskeys have you had tonight, Jeff? You look like you're a little.
None. That's my first one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they didn't have the Jameson, right?
They didn't have the Jameson, so I had an IPA.
I
drank. No, you know what? I got the Stella. I drank half of it. That was it. I was busy talking. I had to kind of get up, introduce speakers, and we had somebody come in to talk about different bills that are being presented right now in front of Congress.
Is there anything worthwhile, or is it all? I mean, aside from the crypto stuff.
No, yeah. I mean, they didn't talk anything about crypto, but that kind of brings me, to a thought. I'm sitting there listening to her speak tonight, and I say, you know what? One of the things that we need to do better as a community is do a little bit of outreach to our local representatives. So we have, like in Florida, for instance, we have our House representatives for Florida. We have our Florida state representatives, and they're relatively accessible. I mean, if we can go and get a bill proposed in Florida at the House level, something on crypto, that could be, pretty monumental. And it just so happens that I know a person that happens to sit in the House in Florida.
There you go.
So maybe I should do a little bit of a, outreach phone call.
By the way, do you know Salazar? Wasn't happy with that vote today.
No, that was a bad vote. Oh, and by the way, the person that I know that is now a Florida House member his name is Chip.
Good afternoon, everybody.
It happens. Yeah,
it's not me, not this Chip though.
It's not you. Different Chip, but his name is Chip.
But I like the sound of that, Jeff. Chip, the House member, and it'd be like, well, I'll be like, one of those one name people. It's just Chip. There's no just Chip. That's how it works. Yeah. I signed up for something today, by the way.
Michael's Chip, 2 weeks on the trot. Jeff been late. He got a side hustle going on.
Didn't take long, man. Right? It doesn't take long. It's like side hustle. Yeah, Jeff and I. This is our side hustle, but we have other stuff too.
Let the chips fall where they may. There you go.
Bam! There you go. These guys are clever, Jeff.
President Chip.
I like the sound of that. At least I'll know what's going on. At least for the most part, I'll kind of have like a pretty good idea what's up. The best one was the meme of Biden where he's doing the John Travolta. That famous meme of Travolta. He's looking around, and I'm like, well, what the hell, man? Oh, I love that. I love that. Jeff is a lobbyist. You see that?
I see that. Yeah, right there.
Jeff, you are a lobbyist. I knew it.
Man, I'm lobbying. I'm out there lobbying. I'm lobbying for everybody.
Who's going to take the chip shot? Boom! Chip shot. You get that? Oh, man. They're on top of it today.
Jeff got a lobbyist down here in MIA that can help open doors.
Well, let's open that door to Salazar because that was bad
stuff. Man, that was a surprising vote. I didn't even expect it. When did they even talk about proposing that bill? It just So one of the things that they're trying to do right now is, so obviously, yesterday we were talking a little bit about, when a bill gets proposed, it goes to committee. So right now what they're trying to do is change the rules a little bit. They want to bend the rules and they want to bypass committee. So you know what happens when it goes to committee, you go into discussion, committee slows the bill down. Our system of government is kind of set up so that things don't get passed too quickly. That's why everything operates kind of in slow motion. It's like, it's kind of like molasses, but it's done on purpose. So when the bill goes in front of committee, it allows the committee to bring it to subcommittee. They break it out, they discuss it, they do whatever they do, they vote it, and then they pass it to the House to vote on it. Then it goes to Senate. But right now they're discussing bypassing committee. So they basically take a bill, put it in front of Congress, vote on it, and move it to Senate, vote on it. Why do you think they want to do that? And it could be very detrimental to the overall system of government here in the United States, but it could be very detrimental to a bill like the Token Taxonomy Act. So imagine they decide that they don't want to pass it through, or imagine they want to pass a bill that is detrimental to the cryptocurrency space. Let's say they want to say that all cryptos are securities or whatever they want to do, and they're going to bypass committee. Because many times bills die in committee. So in this scenario, it would bypass, go to the House, get voted on, and move to Senate, get voted on. And depending on, it doesn't matter. Right now, the imbalance happens to favor the Democrats. In the future, it'll favor the Republicans. And in either scenario, the majority will win because it's going to bypass committee, which is bipartisan in nature to discuss and dissect. So that's just a little bit of a
well, you're right, but
in the bill.
Well, here's what I like:
situation.
Get rid of the whole committee thing, pass the token taxonomy, and then get back. Well, hey, we made a mistake. Then like, wow, I think we should put that regulation back in there because we made a little mistake.
That's right. They need the Token Taxonomy Act. That's like one of the most important bills that could go in front of government right now, especially as it relates to cryptocurrency. Come on.
Now, do you know who Terry Crews is? Do you know who he is, Terry Crews? He's an actor. He's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He also is the host of I don't know, that show my family and I watch where it's like a talent show.
Yeah, I know who he is. Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? He's actually the best host they've ever had. They've had like 3 hosts or 4 hosts now. He's the best one they've ever had. Like just solid all around. Anyway, he is launching his own. You recognize him. He goes
jacked. Hey, he's huge.
Yeah, he's jacked, man. He wears those suits and it's like. So he's launching a new social currency called Power, dude. I like the name of that.
I like that.
$sign Power being launched with the help of a social token startup company called Roll. Roll and Power. I like the way that sounds. Launching it. Yeah, according to TechCrunch, Crew's ultimate goal with this Power social currency is to empower artists. That's our long-term plan. Is to have this thing be a community can live on and exist in. Roll allows individuals to create social currencies, allowing them to control and coordinate their own value and get closer to fans and consumers, kind of described as a blockchain infrastructure for social money. It's powered by the Ethereum network. Wah, wah. That means that any Roll social currency is minted and distributed as a standard ERC20. See, I don't know. It was such a great idea. Does he need Roll to mint a new ERC20? I mean, it's not hard to. They're not hard to mint. That was the only thing that disappointed me. I love the idea behind it, but I wish he was just using a different blockchain, using something a little bit different.
There is. You saw that Tether has now moved away. They're on a new platform now, right? It was called Solana or something like that.
Solana.
Yeah, Solana, whatever it is. And then there was another report that came out that said 70% of the digital assets of the cryptocurrencies that are out right now are ERC20 tokens.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, when you get to mint them, but it's just going to clog up the whole entire network. That's the problem.
70%, dude. 70% of all tokens that are available right now. So imagine if the Ethereum system fails. That means 70% of the.
That's what Brad Gellinghouse is talking about. So Soulja Boy, this is the best one. Remember, like Soulja Boy, like a couple weeks ago, it feels like he was like, "How do I buy XRP?" Right? Remember that? So now he's like, thoughts on creating my own crypto? Oh, hell yeah, Soulja Boy, but don't make it an ERC20 token. Look at that, Jeff. Almost 15,000 likes on that.
Sweet. It's awesome.
So elsewhere in the industry, a social token incubator called the C Club, they're trying to make sure the social currency industry truly takes off. In October last year, C Club held a hackathon to engage the Ethereum community. Yeah, I think this Ethereum is going to get logged up. I think it's just going to get messed up.
I don't know. I don't
If we were minting a new token, Jeff, if we were minting a new token,
I wouldn't do it on Ethereum. I would find another solution.
Right.
So when Yeti coin is launched, it won't be an ERC20 token.
it will not be.
No.
No, it will not be. And the use case
Yeti
will be
coin.
phenomenal.
Long
The
live
use
the
case
Yeti
will be
coin.
just like the Yeti, lost and mysterious. You know, you know what I'm saying? You have to go looking for the old Yeti.
Why have ERC20 token and pay horrible fees when you can use
Right.
Cardano or Flare? There's
Boom.
other networks. There's new networks that are coming up that are more efficient, more streamlined, more modern, whatever you want to call it. I mean, what's amazing in this space? What is that adage in terms of technology? It advances every 6 months. There's a term for that effect.
Moore's law is every 2 years.
Moore's law. But then there's another. Isn't there another one that's quicker than Moore's law? I don't know. So think about crypto. Crypto is definitely faster than advancing faster than chip technology. I see how I get that. Chip.
A little chip.
The
I like
chip.
the way you did that.
The chip tech.
So
But yeah.
tell me what you think about this, Jeff. So the largest crypto exchange names an ex-U.S. senator as an advisor. What do you think's going on there? So this is
Man, I saw this.
yeah, I mean, this is Binance. So they basically, Max Baucus, you remember him? He's
yeah.
he's 79
He
year
was the ambassador of China.
Yeah, ambassador to China. He's senator from Montana, more than 3 decades. Like he was like in government forever and a day. So now they've hired him on to Binance. So before that, here's how the job interview goes. Okay, excuse me, Mr. Baucus, who do you know in Washington? Who has your ear? Do you know anybody that could help us do X, Y, and Z? We're trying to launch an ETF in the U.S. Any connections, Mr. Baucus? He'll be like, I might have a few. There might be somebody. I don't know if I can tell you, but I might have a couple connections here and there, right? But what is Binance up to? Because, you know, there's Binance.us, right?
Yep.
And then there's Binance, which is the one they're really referring to here. But what kind of play do you think that this might be?
It's massive. You know, I mean, there's a lot of variables here. I think it's interesting they tapped the ambassador to China, you know, to to be part of their network. But I mean, it's smart. It's a smart play. You're getting a senator, an ambassador, and obviously, you know, Binance is in it to win it. You know, so if you were, you know, a Coinbase or an Uphold or a Gemini, you know, you're going to take a little bit of a lesson from what Binance is up to. Binance is definitely, you know, looking to, you know, dominate in this space. And why not bring in the best of the best in terms of connections?
There you go.
And you're going to go far. You know, think about what Ripple has hired a lot of people as well.
Yeah, former SEC, right?
SEC, Federal Reserve. They've taken some of the top people, extremely important. You know, this is the initiative here. You know, you think about from a lobbying perspective, what at Ripple, they hired Ron Hammond. You know, maybe that didn't work out so well, but imagine if Ripple could have hired, you know, if Warren Davidson decides that he's leaving Congress, you know, he retires, Ripple goes and gets Warren Davidson as their key government affairs person. You have a congressperson as your government affairs person. So think about what that means. We're talking about the changing of the financial, you know, systems globally. In order to do that, you need impactful people.
Big time. Yeah. And it's like, so he has connections in the US, but you're right. Probably the connections in China are big. Reg Mabry, thank you for that. He says, SEC knows they can't meet Howie. A person invests his money in a common enterprise, and it's led to expect profits solely from the efforts of others. And that's exactly right. And the thing about it is that that's not what it is. And one of the things that we talked about the other night is that John Deaton tweet that he put out and said, show me all the use cases for XRP that do not rely on Ripple, and there was just a lot. I was actually blown away. So that's a phenomenal observation, and that's what the struggle is going to be. There's a lot of panic. Even Tenero, who's the lead attorney, filing this stuff, I feel like they're in over their head. I feel like they're, when they talk about the panic button, I think they're a little bit in panic right now, because I think
they're definitely in panic mode.
they've got a very weak case. Even the judge is going to say, okay, look, 8 years, okay, a year, 2 years, 3 years. They went to you, they asked about this. Every time they made a move, they talked to you about it. FinCEN jumped in and fined him in 2015. You had and then you have the rest of the world that is just blown by them, right? So they just look bad on every front. But Jeff, why don't they just do this? Why don't they just say, why doesn't someone from the UK, from the regulatory body, send an email and say, these are the 3 things we look at: security, token, it has a use case and has a value like a cryptocurrency. That's it. Does it fit in those 2? If it's, okay. Like, forget about trying to like reinvent the wheel. Go look at what they've done in Singapore. Go look at what they're doing in Europe, what they've done in the UK. Why are you trying to like? This isn't.
Do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I mean, think about from a perspective, the SEC. From their perspective, they're the ones who make the rules. They're the ones who monitor the rules. They're not the ones. They're not going to follow the patterns of other countries. Unfortunately, they're not taking a rule out of their rule book, and they really should, Schiff. You're 100% spot on. If the SEC is going to do it the right way, they're going to go and they're going to look at the precedent that's been set in Japan and the UK and elsewhere, and that's very, very significant. We're looking, if we look overall, let me take that out. We look overall at Chip. Where'd you go?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were.
I thought we lost you.
No, I'm here.
No, so I don't know. This is really, really significant. It's I try to look at the objective of the SEC. I try to look at what Jay Clayton, what his objective was by filing this case, and we've talked about this so many times. You file this case and then you retire the next day. Now, what's the point of doing that? Now, you're either planting a landmine for the next person that's coming to take over, or you're planting a massive landmine for the next administration. Because this is a losing case and they must have known it. But
here's the thing. It took 8 years. They got nothing going on. Congress is chasing their tail. They're like, you want to talk about chasing squirrels? They're all over the place. They're not focused at all. They're worried about the goofiest things in the world. They're not passing any meaningful legislation. They're worried about getting stuff out of committee. They're worrying about getting rid of the filibuster rule. Meanwhile, they passed a $1.9 trillion supposed COVID relief bill that was supposed to give $2,000 checks, which was what was promised, and you're only worth $1,400. 9% of that was doled out. Now, I could see you do a 50-50 split. Well, 50% is going to Americans. The other 50% is going to go to some projects. No. 91% of it went to payoffs. You get paid, everyone gets paid, right? And the American people, it was enough to give everybody $6,000. I'm not behind it. We don't even have the money to spend anyway. And Aman Gill says it right. I do not respect the SEC. Nope, I do not respect them. And I'm with you, man. But here's the thing, Jeff. The fastest way to get the regulation is dropping a lawsuit. It's fastest way. Because nothing else is happening.
I agree with that. You're right. The lawsuit is definitely going to be a statement. Now, you think about it from that perspective. Jay Clayton looks at it, says, hey, you know what? Congress, you guys had your chance. The token taxonomy's been there. Token Taxonomy Act has been there. There's been other legislation that's been put in front of Congress. You guys have failed. You guys can't even pronounce Bitcoin. And the Financial Services Committee it's the most important committee on Capitol Hill. And the person leading it doesn't know a Bitcoin from a Bitcom. They probably don't know a BlackBerry, from an iPhone, and they're probably trying to figure out, hey, how come my mail doesn't say you've got mail anymore? So you've got people that are in Congress, in these committees, that are just completely from a knowledge perspective, they're completely void in knowledge on technology, and yet they need to have this conversation on the digital asset cryptocurrency space. To make matters worse, the majority of them are attorneys. Not to knock any attorneys that are out here right now that might be tuning in and listening to us, but I don't go to my attorney for tax advice, and I definitely don't go to my attorney for financial advice. If you want financial advice, go find your stockbroker. If you want tax advice, go to your CPA. But why is it that everybody on Capitol Hill is an attorney, and yet they all seem to know what's best from an economic perspective, as though, they've spent their entire existence, researching and playing in the financial space? They don't play in the financial space, yet somehow they all are these, financial guru geniuses. And when it comes to cryptocurrency, if they don't know technology and they don't know finance, how in the hell are they going to know about cryptocurrency?
But it's not
Explain
necessarily, well, I think you're onto something here. I think the bigger problem is, and this is representative government. You're supposed to be representing the people. The big thing is you get in there, it's a big party, and everyone's, it's all like, rubbing shoulders, and then this person comes in and they're super excited. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do all this stuff. Then they take him behind the woodshed, beat him up a little bit. They come out with a black eye, right? They take him behind the woodshed and like, sit down, son, or listen, man, like that Laura Bobbert. They're like, hey, pipe down for a second. Let me explain how this works. You've been around here for like a nanosecond, okay? I've been here for 40 years, and this is how it's done here. And it's like this some old boys club that they're trying to like figure stuff out and do stuff. Problem is they've gotten away from why they're there. They're there to represent their constituents. They should go back into the communities. Guys, what are we looking at? What's important to you? No. They're going to decide for you, Jeff. They know what you need, Jeff, and here's what we need, and here's how we, and they're great at laundering money. The best money launderers in the world, and they do it with fiat currency. By the way, I'm getting wind of stuff. I got to be careful how we phrase this. I'm getting wind of stuff that there's some naughtiness going on, and potential governments, I'm not going to say which one, and they may be using Bitcoin, Jeff, because they may be using Bitcoin. I'm just saying. So there's a lot of weird stuff, but more than likely they're laundering through fiat. Why? Because they give it to this organization. That organization donates it back in some sort of a endorsement, right? And then they give it to this organization, then ends up back. That's how they launder the money. It's a great idea. That's why I always say follow the money. But the whole representation, I want to throw this up. Let's just sidestep a little bit. So Binance is not the only crypto company who's looking to get expertise from a Washington insider. Blockchain.com. They just hired Jim Messina. You remember Jim Messina? He was the deputy chief of staff in the Barack Obama's White House. He's joining the board. So now you have another government official who is now over at Blockchain.com. So they're starting to get a little bit smarter, but you know what they're acting a lot like? Banks. Banks always have board loaded up with government officials. Now you got the exchanges acting like banks, becoming banks, and it's almost the full circle. And one of the things that I love that Alex Mashinsky said is that we were looking to build Wall Street 2.0, something different. We weren't trying to do the same thing in a different space. In other words, we keep all the money and you get morsels. He was trying to say, we keep 20%, we give away 80%. If you guys can do it better, then God bless you. But that's our model. If you want to do 90-10, that's cool. But what we seem to do is jump back to legacy stuff. And that's the part that kills us all, Jeff.
Yeah, you know who else said that?
Was it start with the B?
Man, Berserker.
Berserker. I knew Berserker was lurking around right here. New Jack, bro. There he is right there. Hello from Berlin. Hello from Berlin. All right, man.
Berlin. Nice.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's on my...
Have you been there? Berlin is nice.
No, it's on my bucket list, Jeff. I gotta
go to Berlin. You go to the wall, man.
I'm worried about traveling though, Jeff. I'm not getting the I'm not getting it.
Yeah, that's the problem. You try to go over to Europe and they probably want the passport thing, the vaccination passport. But if you ever get a chance to go over to Berlin, man, it's crazy, right? Because you get to, when you see that divide between the West and East, and it's so clear, the Soviet era communist architecture, just barren and stark and boxy. And now they have a Starbucks over there. So it's really cool.
Well, there you go. you know you've officially ruined your city if there's a Starbucks or a McDonald's and you've officially given up. You know,
Dude, he
that happens.
got baseline from Frankfurt.
Whoa,
That's really cool.
it's very cool.
Frankfurt
This
is cool too. Whoops, sorry. There you go.
Congress is a
Frankfurt
bunch. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Congress is a bunch of nuts. Yeah, Matt LaRoche. I will second that.
They are a bunch of nuts.
Jeff, Chip, once we reach clarity, we're all going to go to the NBA and never broke again. Right on, Bruno.
Oh yeah, that's it.
You got me.
100%.
When you said the NBA, never broke again. You know what a job stands for, Jeff?
Just over broke.
Damn straight it does.
That's right. Berserker here. Jeff and Chip will let you be part of the crypto future. Only if you hit the like now. If you don't hit the like now, forget about it. You're not part of the crypto future.
Yeah, otherwise I will squish your head. I will break you out. Squish your head.
What was that Canadian show? That was the
crush your face, crush your head.
yeah. Remember that
What was
show?
that?
Was
I do
hilarious.
remember. We have people from Ontario that remember that.
And they would be like, "Oh, can I squish it?"
It was a comedy organization there. But that's why some of the best comics ever, they're all from Canada, man. They got, I don't know if it's Kids in the Hall. There you go. Kids in the Hall. Right on, Ian. There it is right there. The Kids in the Hall was awesome, man.
That's
I used to
awesome.
love that show.
Hey, has anybody ever seen that red button down below? It says subscribe on it. If you're new to the channel and you hit that subscribe button, you can actually subscribe to On the Chain. That's pretty cool. And then once you do that, you can actually hit this little bell. It says hit the bell notifier. And when you do that, it actually notifies you every time we post a live video. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and right there. Yeah, not too, right? We're seeing, guys, thank you very much. We're seeing a very big, we're seeing our why didn't I copy that in there? There it is, right there. If you guys click on that, you guys can go subscribe to our podcast, but you can find it anywhere.
Where do you find it now?
Well, I didn't put that.
OTC.1/podcast.
There
You
it
go
is,
to
right there.
OTC.1/podcast. Boom, you'll show up right over there.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's what we're doing. And guess what? So it is officially that time where we start talking about, what is it, Jeff? Meetup. Sunday at the round table, we're going to drop details on how to sign up. It's going to be capped. We have to cap it at a certain number. Just we just want it to be workable, right?
It might be like 500. I don't know.
Like 5 million or something like that. I was thinking like 5 million.
50. It might be 50. It might be 500.
600 million, Jeff. It could be 600 million. I don't care. Oh, is that too much? Oh, I'm sorry. Check out Doc's Gambling. Doc's Gambling.
Yeah, we both click at the same
Doc's Gambling. That's awesome, Docs. Make XRP moon for me, LOL. Love your content. God bless y'all. Hope everyone here makes a ton of money. Docs, those are from your lips to God's ears. I love that, man.
Oh, everybody raised their hand who bought Roblox yesterday. Anybody buy Roblox? Roblox direct listing? Chip, we lost you again. We lost Chip. Where did Chip go? I think we lost Chip. I think he froze. He's frozen in time. But anyhow, I was gonna tell Chip about the Roblox direct listing that launched yesterday. If you guys have kids and you know about Roblox, because all kids seem to play Roblox all the time, all day, every day. And that company just did their direct listing yesterday, and the CEO went from, I don't know what he was worth, but as soon as it went to direct listing, he was worth like $6 billion on that direct listing yesterday. It was supposed to launch at 45. It ended up opening yesterday at $64, $65, and it was like crazy time when it listed, because they said the public listing was going to happen yesterday, but nobody told you what time it was going to list. It's kind of like, no one's told you yet when our meetup is going to be. Well, we know when the meetup's going to be, but
when XRP is going to moon.
When XRP is going to moon. You have no idea.
Wait a minute, though. But Baba Cogs told us, so you got to know how to read the map. You got to know how to read the timeline. And I have read it, so I know when it's going to happen. Mum's the word, Jeff. So that's all we got tonight, guys. I want to thank you for coming in here, making this
Saturday morning.
Okay, come back Saturday morning for Jeff. I'm breaking in this Saturday morning, man. It's for some reason I'm excluded from Saturday morning. That's fine.
Dude,
'cause I'm used.
you're welcome to come. Just wake
No,
up.
it's okay. No, I'm
Wake
good.
up bright and early. You can
No,
be
I
there
don't
at
like
8
that,
a.m.
man. No,
8
I like.
a.m. Eastern Standard. Dude, grab your espresso.
I lounge out by the pool,
Join
drinking an
us.
espresso, like listening to Jeff,
Join us.
having some breakfast.
Join
You
us.
know,
It's awesome. It's
I'm on the
awesome.
lanai. You know, yeah, it is fun. I might just pop in for a little fun thing. Nah, I don't want to do that.
That'd be cool. There you go. When can we buy OTC? OTC.
Ooh, now you're making some serious sense right there.
Are
Not
we
like you
going
did
to the
before, but I
OTC
like
or the
that.
Yeti?
When can we? Yeah,
When
well,
can
Jeff
we?
and I are, well, we kind of like, yeah, we got something. We're always like scheming about something. We always got some kind of scheme going on, you know? Jeff and I
That's it.
talk, we're like, yeah, man, why don't we do this? We're like, yeah. We're like, yeah. We're like, okay, yeah.
That's right.
And we're like, all right, I got to go. We'll
Exactly.
talk later. You know?
That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah,
And
something
then-
like that.
And then there's Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the next one. Roundtable is Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then it's going to be every night next week until Thursday, because we stream Sunday through Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here exclusively
On
the chain.
chain. See you guys on the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.